Hi guys, I'm Daryl. I'm the founder of Break the Limits. We help advisors to break their limits so they can make more impact and income. For the last few years, we've been helping advisors to achieve their first MDRT, multiple MDRTs, or even COT as well. My firm belief is that when you win your inner game, that's where you have massive success in life. That's exactly the reason why I'm interviewing high-performing advisors to understand their inner game, the inner world, understand the challenges so that I can inspire you to get your unique breakthrough as well. With that being said, let's get started with today's episode. So today I'm here with Candy Yap. Okay, she's one of our clients, and I'm actually proud of her journey throughout and her achievements that she achieved last year throughout time with us. And that's why I invited her to give this podcast at the same time, do this podcast with me, at the same time give this sharing with you guys to inspire you to get your unique breakthrough as well. So I want to formally introduce her achievements. For her, last year it was an amazing breakthrough. In fact, back 2 years, she had back-to-back 2 years of MDRT, achieved her income signature class. At the same time, her first IDA last year. Something that's hold closer to her heart, which makes me so proud, is that she managed to achieve a dream. Finally brought her parents out to Europe and Taiwan earlier this year. Yeah, so without further ado, allow her to introduce herself formally to you guys.
Yeah, I actually feel like crying right now.
Yeah, why?
Never imagined myself to be in a podcast so soon. Yeah, thank you for inviting me, and it's really I really feel honored to be here. It's Candy here.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm from Income, Timeless Legacy Consultancy, senior financial consultant this year. Yeah.
How many years of experience so far? Share with the audience.
5 years and a half.
Going to 6 lah.
Yeah, going to 6.
Yeah, and I know because I coach you, right? So I know you're very passionate about female empowerment. Yeah. Share more to the audience so that they can understand you better.
Yes. I'm really passionate in women empowering. And I believe that it's really a needful to help women in emotionally, mentally, and physically, and also financially. Yeah.
And there's definitely a deeper reason behind it. Okay. Yes. Later, if you feel comfortable, you can share the audience.
Yeah.
And today in this podcast, right, we're discussing behind the scenes as well of like how was your ups and your downs? How were you like before this career? What made you join this career? What were some struggles you experienced throughout the career? And then how do you achieve those kind of breakthroughs? So without further ado, let's get started. What made you first join this career to begin with actually?
Wow. A very common question I get from my clients. And I always be very honest. I would say I had financial difficulties before this journey. Just short stories. I had a couple of relationships, and this specifically one, we had businesses together. That time, the business failed, and I was at the age of 27. I was indebted. Not much in Sing dollar, but in Malaysian ringgit, it was about 15K. So imagine like a fresh grades and you see your bank negative 15K. It wasn't feel good. Yeah. I was not sure of what I should be doing. Have never imagined what I should do. Just constantly seeking something that I know I should do something else. So here I am.
And you took the leap of faith to join. Back then, were you in Malaysia or what?
Yeah, I was in Malaysia. I was looking for a job in KL and in Singapore. I actually applied banker role as well. But eventually, Income interviewed me. So I get accepted, and here I am now until today.
Yeah, and share with us, because I know you initially your journey, you were doing the retail side of things, right?
Yes.
And then what happened? How you transit to now being a financial consultant yourself?
Okay, so when I first joined Income, right, because I haven't get my PR, so I have to be in the branch as a client advisor. Since March 2018 until September 2020, it was exactly during COVID that I decided to have a switch from the retail side to become a financial consultant. I mean, self-employed.
Yes, correct. And probably some of the audience watching this, right, have experienced the switch like you. Some of them are maybe bankers, then suddenly become consultants. Some of them from the retail side become an advisor themselves, right?
Yep.
What was some challenge that you were facing at that point of time?
When I was in retail side?
Yeah, compared to like being a full-fledged, financial advisor yourself.
The challenge, honestly, when I was at the retail side, right, I was in beast mode
Be smooth.
every single day. Imagine every single day I have to tap to office hour. But after office hour, I still need to run my appointments, meet clients. So literally, I was in a branch since like 8:30. Then I came home about 10, 11 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah. Full day, almost every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every month, our target reset. No matter 100,000 you made, last month, next month, set to zero. It was super competitive, very pressure. And then I started to think, is this the right business model that I want in the long run? Because it's not sustainable, definitely not sustainable. Imagine every single month, like you onboard this client, the trust should be built, right? The relationship should be built. But I didn't like the feeling when I receive a call from my client to do a certain claims, and I didn't have the time to even help them to process the claim because I was just back-to-back appointments, need to constantly look for a new closure, new cases.
To hit the KPI that they set for you.
Yes.
Okay, and you probably felt a lot of pressure, a lot of overwhelm.
Yeah.
And how was things like the moment you joined to become a full-fledged advisor on your own, self-employed?
Just one word that I can think of, freedom.
Freedom.
Really.
Okay.
So much freedom.
Yeah. And how do you manage your performance then? Since there's so much freedom, right?
Good question. When we have the freedom, the struggle is how we stay disciplined, how we stay consistent in terms of our activities, daily activities. I need to thank the fact that I was from the retail side. So every day I already get used to, I have to set appointments, I have to call my clients, I already have the sets of activities, structures,
yes.
how I should do, what are the things that I should do every single day. I just bring the exact model to financial consultant side, continue to do call client, wake up early, call client, keep engaging.
Understood. And share with us what was one of the challenge that you faced, right? When you did this switch, what was that?
The fear.
Fear of what?
Imagine you have been getting paid, not much, but averagely 4 to 5K. Now you want to make a switch to a place where there's no basic at all.
NTUC didn't give back then, or income never give you back then.
You mean after
after you switch?
Because once we switch, right, we are not considered as new FC anymore. So
Okay.
we don't have the fixed pay anymore,
Yes.
but it based on our target. So of course we have the package.
Yes.
How much we do, then we have that. Yeah.
But there was nothing guaranteed for you. Hence,
No.
that doesn't make you feel safe.
No, definitely
And how do you
not.
deal with and handle with the lack of certainty in salary or in allowance?
I must say that I'm a person who's naturally love challenges. I know that I need to step out from this comfort zone and I cannot stay long. The longer I stay, the harder I jump out. Yeah. I was well aware of that.
Yes. And knowing that, right? So when you jump out, you did how was your performance after you switch out?
Oh, surprisingly, I see my earnings actually
Increased.
Yeah. At least minimally twofold.
Yeah. Fantastic. Happy for you. And at one point of time, you were earning pretty much quite comfortable amount of money, right? If you may share, if I may share with the audience, if you don't mind sharing, right?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Don't mind, right? At one point of time, Candy was making, if I remember, like 6 figures, right? 100,000+.
Yep.
And that's where she had another problem already.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
probably Candy, you want to share with the audience, right? At one point of time, before you joined Break the Limits, right? To become one of our clients, right? There was one big challenge that you're facing.
Yes.
A lot of stagnation.
Yes.
Would you want to elaborate more so that the audience can resonate with that?
Okay. Maybe just to bring the audience more clarity, like can visualize, right?
Yeah,
Just
share
imagine,
them.
right? This arrow spiral up. So in life, we definitely will meet problems. When we get comfortable, we grow, and then we meet problems, and then we solve the problems, and then we grow again. The same. When I just came to Singapore, I was at the rock bottom, and I worked very hard. So I rebound, and then I get my achievement. But then comes the comfortable stage.
zone,
Yeah,
yeah.
the comfort zone. And then I seek to challenge myself. So I step out from the retail side. So here, I make another rebound. I got my MDRT, first MDRT within 6 months. And then I lost. Another cycle. But this cycle actually took me quite long time to
Bounce up.
Yeah.
So that at that point of time, that was what you're facing,
Yes.
right?
I lost.
You lost. Why? Share with the audience, right? Why were you lost? You're making good money. You had your MDRT in 6 months. People will be like, hey, what she talking about? Can you share with us what were the real pain that you're going through, the confusion or anything?
Yeah. When we talk about this money thing, right? Of course, different people have, different family background and how we being brought up, right? How my family brought me up is more on like giving, the nature of giving, to serve people. And money is not the main thing, the top thing in our mind.
Yep.
So when I get so much money, right, it couldn't really satisfy me. But what satisfied me is more on my achievement, my self-growth. When I make that money, right, I was struggling with self-growth. I couldn't find my purpose. I was lost. And in fact, at that stage, then I started to think about my purpose. Because I was in a survival mode before, right?
Yeah.
And after I passed my survival mode, then comes I think about how can I be better. Then I start to search for my purpose. And that's when I find I didn't know what's my purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. And at that point in time, you don't know what your purpose, right? How did that affect your performance, or did it even affect your performance?
Physically, or from maybe third party point of view, may not seem like I get affected, but deep down, I'm like rotten inside.
Rotten inside.
Rotten inside, like a very hardworking zombie. Because every day I will still go for my appointments. I will still set appointments. Every day, 2 to 3 appointments. Definitely I will still go for it. But soulless. I wasn't that focused on what I should be doing or why I should be doing. Why should I be making that amount of money? Why should I helping my client? My client is enough, what?
Yeah.
They don't want means don't want, no?
Yeah, no.
I don't want to be pushy, what? Yeah.
And then what affected you, or maybe what helped you? What have you tried? Let's probably ask this question first, right? What have you tried to solve it yourself, actually?
What have I tried? Yes. Yeah, you are right. Because I'm actually someone who constantly seeking growth, right? I attended boot camps or like 5 days or 3 days kind of marketing courses. I paid, thinking that I can find my purpose or I can break through somehow. Trying to be busier, trying very hard to wake up earlier, to feel like I'm more productive, but none of it worked. Failed to wake up early. I didn't have that drive.
Yeah.
To have the energy to be really present, to do things.
Right. And what changed for you? If you can share the audience.
I think the moment when I started to decide I must have a change, I must do something to change, it was, during COVID, I couldn't went back to Malaysia, right? I had several broke down episodes, and finally 2022, the first time I can go back to Malaysia. So after I went back to Malaysia, I thought my my zombie mode was because I couldn't head back to home. Yeah, couldn't meet them. But even after I've met them, I came back.
Still lost.
Still sluggish, still no direction at all. That's when I think, no, I have been down for a good 6 to 7 months. Imagine a person who constantly seeking growth, right? The 6-7 months, it's really killing me inside. Yeah, it's really killing me. Although you see me having sales and all, but I know deep down inside,
not happy
at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And probably that was the period I met you, February 2022.
Yes, February, yes.
Yeah, I can remember.
That's exactly the first week I came back to Singapore.
Yes. And share the audience, what happened?
Cannot tahan liao. Okay, so what happened? I knew you through my friend, okay, Chuck. Yeah, Chuck. So he he just sent your profile to me, said that, hey, I have been seeing this guy doing live in Instagram. Wow, so inspiring. Even nobody go and like less people go in and out the live session. He's still talking like so passionate. And I joined your
Facebook Live.
Yes, no, one of your the final sprint.
Yes.
Remember 2021 final sprint? I joined once. Yeah, and I can feel your passion. And then when I came back, just so happened then I saw your posting saying that, oh, it can have a like call, one-on-one call. Honestly speaking, I was very skeptical to spend money on one-on-one coaching. Yeah, I thought like very hard to help one, have to be self-help. Yeah, but then I still decided to hop onto that call because I've tried almost everything.
Yeah. And share with us, right, what switched for you? Because at that point of time, you're like purposeless, and then after experiencing coaching, right, what specifically did I say or share with you that snapped in your head, right, that transformed you?
The past, present, future.
There was an exercise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what helped?
I think I also shared with you before that the first time when I did the exercise, because you told me that I need to sit down and process my previous experience, how all this incident affect my emotions. And that was the first time when I sat down there. I still remember it was a Sunday night. I sat down there by just doing the past emotions alone. I was crying endlessly, non-stop. That's when I realized, oh, I haven't been releasing myself from my previous emotion. Yeah, I would say by acknowledging or by aware that all these emotions, right, then one can start to change. Yeah, then the next session, you were sharing with me like how these past emotions affect me now and what I'm doing now can actually shape my future. Yeah, that's when I started to imagine myself. Yeah, right, I can find my purpose as well.
Yes.
Because since I was young, right, because all along I'm very self-motivated.
Yes.
I've been trying to copy some of the famous people, their life goal and whatsoever, but no, it's just not me. Yeah. And not lasting at all. But after the PPF, right, the past, present, future, it was the first time I feel like, wow, this is something me, myself, it's like, I'm pregnant, I'm having baby, this is my baby, Yeah, this is the real identity that I really wanted.
Beautiful. If you don't mind, I challenge you a little bit more to go a bit more deeper. Yeah. Share with the audience, right? What's the why or what's the purpose that you're fighting for right now? Share with them. And then how do you create this?
Okay. Yeah.
Up to you, whether you feel comfortable sharing.
Quite vulnerable, but...
Yes, if you want to.
Like, I also learned through vulnerability. Through you, I learned vulnerability, like to show vulnerable, to be vulnerable. It was, first definitely it's in woman empowering. Why woman empowering? Because of this podcast, I went and counted, because I knew this question sure came out one.
Yes.
I went and counted. If my parents ever listening, they know. My first relationship was when I was 15 years old. From my 15 years old until then, I met my current fiance, right? It was 29 years old. From 15 to 29, a good 14 years.
Yeah.
I have had 10 relationships. Yeah, my fiance is like literally the 11th one. Okay, 10. But this 10, right, not each of them is like 2-3 years. No, it's only particularly 3 of them past 3 years. My first love 5 years, and then my uni one 4 years, 9 years already, and then the one who ran the retail cafe with me 3 years, a good 12 years already. So the rest of the relationships, it was just like for a few months. And I've been through a lot different toxic story. I shouldn't call them toxic. I should say many stories that actually grew me. Almost killed myself, get myself killed. And that's when I really firmed that by sharing my story, I can really impact people, especially women.
Beautiful. Yeah. And if I can sum up from a coach perspective, right, when I saw Candy done her exercise, right, the past, present, future framework, she was crying. I remember she was tearing her eyes out because there's a lot of past experiences that we do not want to recognize, not acknowledge, because a lot of emotions pent up with those incidents.
Yeah.
Hence, we are like what you mentioned just now, walking zombie, cruising by aimlessly, day by day, just perform, achieved. But the moment when she was able to go inwards and really find the answers, that's where she was like, holy shit, all these emotions, all these incidents, they built me. And because of that pain, now she have a purpose. Yeah, she know very clearly, and share with them, who do you want to help specifically? Only for women or who else? Share with them.
Okay. Other than women, also in children protecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to protect children. It also because of my previous experience. I'm not sure when will be the right time to share.
It's okay.
Yeah. But definitely the time will come.
Yep.
Yeah. And the righteous me just tell me that I should protect children and I should empower women. I mean, women deserve to be happy deep down, emotionally, mentally, and how to be financially and emotionally independent. It's really important.
Yes. If you enjoyed the podcast so far and you're curious to experience the life coaching for yourself, to implement the methods that we teach so that you can see more breakthrough in your income, I highly encourage you to sign up for our complimentary masterclass. Click the link anywhere around this podcast, or you can check it out in any of our social media accounts. And right now, let's get back to the podcast. So share with the audience, right? Because we can see and we can feel the passion from you when you share your purpose, right? Very, very passionately, very enthusiastic. Share with them, apart from this purpose, right? What else snapped in your head, right? That allowed you to achieve like 2 years back-to-back MDRT and also the IDA last year. And also, even having like the kind of achievement to bring your parents overseas, right? Something internally has to switch. What helped you?
What helped me?
Yes.
I must say the definition of money. The definition of money has changed. Yeah, definitely is the definition of money. I used to think that money is not so important because I'm not someone who aim for branded goods, right? But I want to drive a Lamborghini, definitely. Okay, but I used to think that money is not that significant for me. But because of all the exercise that I've been through, like the constant dialogue with you, like weekly coaching, the question that you spiked me, I start to rewind the definition of money in me.
And share with us how was like last time in versus now.
Last time I think that money is not that important. I can earn less and I spend less. I don't need that much, right? Yeah. But now that money, to me, right, money can create a lot of values. Be it you want to say money is evil, yeah, you can say, because if you make your money do all the evil jobs, yeah, money is evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, but money can create a lot of value. I can do campaign, I can donate my money, I can set up trust funds for women, for children. All this requires money.
Yes.
Yeah, and don't tell me money can do nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember this was one of the powerful incidents where we realized that your limiting belief about money.
Yeah.
You realized that it's about me. Then we spoke about me, family, community, and humanity.
Yeah.
And that's where you start thinking bigger, you start looking at trust funds. Beautiful. And can you share with the audience, there was one time, I remember the story about facial. Remember the facial story?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I share with the audience first, okay? The context at that point of time, I remember Candy was, because every lady like to feel pretty and beautiful. She signed up for a premium package for facial product, right? Facial product. I think, how much was that every month?
637.
Oh, she still know the exact amount, okay? So it was 637 every single month. And at that point of time, probably she was having a lot of surprises that she didn't plan up. People kick you out of the place. And one day she called me up and she said, hey coach, what should I do if I want to tell them to get refund for the product?
Free look.
Free look the product, the facial package. And I say, what kind of questions are you asking me? You see, I scared to talk to the boss about it. I teach personal power, I teach break limits, overcoming fear. What? End up, what did I tell you? You share with the audience.
Okay. I was calling him to wanting to get like a sentence, how you can argue with the boss to get out of that package. But what I got out from that conversation is actually no. We should break our limits. Step out of your box. Like stop just looking at the box like, oh, I have no money to pay for that facial. You ask me, why do you want this facial? Like so expensive. Why do you sign up? Why you're like selling me the package, yeah? Yeah, I was like, because I wanted to look good in front of camera, right? I want to be without filter. I want to be on the camera and feel confident and feel happy about myself, confident about myself, even without filter. You were like, then how much more to make you to earn back that few thousand a month? I'm like, yeah, if I break down that way, it seems doable. And that's when I learned about if you have something that seems very big to achieve, like break down into steps. Yeah, into bite size.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you were telling me like that's when you can expand your social circle, you meet new people, right? And that's when I made my beautician my client. And I have another story recently, upcoming on extended story.
Yeah.
So my beautician become my client. The beautician refer another client to be my client. And now the beautician refer another client. She become like my center of influence. And because she know that every time when she do facial for me, right, I've been telling her, you know, as a woman, we must be independent.
Mm.
If your husband is good, it's good, it's lucky. Okay, but people can change and things can change. If one day your husband need your support, at least you are there.
Yes.
Financially and emotionally, you are there.
Mm.
Yeah. And then she know that I'm very passionate in women empowering. And then recently she intro me another friend. And guess what? Because I wanted to do like podcast, right? See, I'm get so excited.
Yeah.
I've been planning for podcast, right? And I met this lady. She's so amazing and she been through a lot.
Yeah.
And the first meetup, right? 1.5 hours. We spent only 3 minutes on financial planning. And it was like at the very last of the meetup, I said, I really need to go already. And she was like, hey, we haven't talked about the financial planning yet.
Yeah.
So we spent like 98% of the time, we were talking about, I was asking her about, hey, how come you look so sexy? You look so pretty, 50 plus years old. She was sharing with me her previous experience and she was so open to me. And I was telling her, can you be one of my guests?
Wow, beautiful.
And that's how powerful the universe is.
Yes, and it's only powerful because you align your purpose to the right people.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can sum up the story to shed some light for you guys watching this, right? So at that point of time, Candy was probably panicking already because she never shared the context. She was forced to leave the rental unit that she was renting at that point of time.
Yeah, in Sembawang.
Yeah, correct, in Sembawang, and that was a surprise to her.
Yeah.
Then she have to pay extra rental now, which is more expensive.
Yes.
And that triggers a lot of stress in her.
Insecurity.
And a lot of insecurities start pouring up, and then that's where she panicked and start asking for help.
Yeah.
So I think the exact question that I asked her at that point of time was this: hey, Candy, in another universe, right, do you want this or not? Or you feel like you have to buy the facial product? I want now, I really want. I said, good. So the desire is there, true.
Yeah.
So now the question is, how can we solve that?
Yes.
Yes. Then I start, like what she mentioned, getting these bite size for her so that it's manageable.
Yes.
She has clarity and certainty that she can solve this.
Yes.
And once she feels safe, then I ask her, hey, actually can or not? You spread your message to the right people, and then people believe in you will buy.
Yeah.
And then that's where she make a lot of friends. Because that's why she's really good at talking. She's very passionate also. Then the beautician became a client, word of mouth spread, and then she's able to afford the whatever that she deserves. I think that was a very impactful story, not just for her, but for me as well. Because when I coach her, I really do not know when I coach people what kind of outcome would that be. But she gave me the insights that like, wow, like one word or one spark of idea that I put in another person's mind, right, can create a beautiful reality. And in fact, now this is gonna spin into a podcast, that she's gonna do with a lot of her clients about female empowerment, right? Not just about finances, but about emotion, mental, and also physical independence, which I think is very beautiful. And another question I want to ask you, right, is that I know that at one point of time you were struggling with a lot of fear, going back to existing clients. Remember that? Because you're thinking that, actually money, like a bit, I don't want them to see that I'm pushy. Share them with more details, right? How did that affect you and how do you overcome that?
Yeah. Can I drink water?
Go ahead. Don't have to ask.
Yeah, regarding the question,
Like the question was, like at one point in time you're telling me that, I don't want to go back to an existing client. What if they think I'm pushy? I
Yeah.
don't want to prospect them. But how do you overcome that?
it's like the coin, right? The flip side of the coin. It's just the mindset is actually the same. Like why I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to look pushy. But pushy is just the identity that I give myself. But in fact, how people see me, my client, they all know that I'm not pushy. It's just my self-doubt or my limiting belief that I put on myself. Actually, I'm not pushy. Yeah, but instead of pushy, then what I learned from you, right, is actually the switch of the thinking to the other side efficiently. I must use the word efficiently because save a lot of time.
Yep.
Yeah. And once I switch my thinking, right, instead of thinking myself as pushy, why can't people think that I'm just being passionate or, or just having the, like
Sincerity,
yeah, and looking at their portfolio like they really need it. What if I didn't do that?
Yes.
And yeah, I did had this story. I did regrets of me not being pushy enough.
Yeah, share with us.
I'm sure I haven't shared this story yet. I have this client. He passed on 2021 around April, May. Yeah. And I met him 2018 during a roadshow in Ang Mo Kio when I just started. So he bought a very small saving plan. And then throughout the years, like 1 year later, then I found out that as I slowly get to know more about him, then I came to know that he's a sole breadwinner. That's when I told him like, oh, you should get just a minimal coverage, He did sign. And then he found out because of the high blood pressure, right, need to have loading in the plan. And he decided to not take up the plan. And it was 2020 August to October around that timing. And I wasn't pushy. I didn't want to push, right? And I was just like, okay, no problem. Just 6 months or 8 months later, as short as that, not even 1 year, I still remember few days before his passing, he was texting me about his plan, and we were still chatting. And then few days later, when I broadcast the promotion message, I got a reply and says that, hi, I'm the son of this particular client and my dad has passed on. That night, right, I couldn't sleep. I really couldn't sleep. I was still in Sembawang. I couldn't sleep. I was like rolling in the bed. I was thinking, should I be more pushy? Have I done anything wrong or And the next day morning, immediately I called the son and I told him that I can go over to the house and help them with the claim. Although it's just a bare minimum amount because it's saving plans, right? I really regret of not being pushy enough or not concerning enough. And that's when I went over and meet the family, right? First time ever, I saw someone crying in front of me. The wife crying in front of me, right? I felt like crying as well, but I have to be emotionally stable. I was holding back my tears, and that's the moment I told myself, I have to protect the family. And that's when I see the importance of my presence. It's just not for my clients this lifetime because I'm young. Just because I'm young, my clients at 50, 60 already. Death is certain. I mean, we have to agree that death is certain. After my client passed on, who can the offspring find? Who is the someone trusted one? I want to be that one.
Beautiful.
And I built trust from there and yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing this story. And I think all of this evidence, all of these experiences really build a lot more certainty in yourself because of the regret.
Yeah.
That you don't want to make such mistakes anymore.
Yeah.
And I just want to sum up for the audience listening to this. So you can see that in the past she called herself pushy, but now she's more concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's more doing it with more sincerity.
Yeah.
And she know that like if I'm not doing it for the fullest ability, I will feel way more regret in time to come when something bad happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that allows her to go all out and not having so much fear. So share with us, right, Candy, what is something exciting that you're actually walking, like moving towards actually?
Moving towards, I mean, the nearest one, I'm looking at having my own podcast about women empowering. Yeah, definitely something that super exciting. And I'm inviting my clients right now who have been through cancer, cancer survivor. So I'm going to ask her about her mental health, emotionally. Okay, and then also I'm looking at clients who are struggled, who have been through a lot of struggle before. Yeah, that's the profile of client that I'm looking at. That's one thing that is exciting, like the nearest term. If you were to ask me like within 1 year to 2 years time, what are the exciting thing? I would say that, of course, our team is expanding. Yeah. And I'm definitely looking at someone who are kind of similar. Not exactly 100% similar as me. I mean, we cannot be fully similar, right? Like 100%. But having the same passion, really looking at want to impact more life. Yeah. To be on the same team.
Yep. And then when you mentioned that something similar, so are you looking for people who believe in what you believe, female empowerment?
Yeah.
Right? Someone like you, growth-driven, a challenger.
Yes.
Never back down spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want, just a go-getter, go and get it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And for those people who are listening to this audience, the audience listening to this right now, right, and they're currently faced with adversities, like yourself, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of fears, a lot of limitations, what kind of advice do you have for them actually?
Challenge or adversity, I would say it's a must. It's a must process for you to grow. Mistake is bound to have. And that's where we grow, right? But how can we break through from that? How to see yourself to be a bigger, better self? I would say to give your goal a lot of whys. Why would you want to achieve that? For example, if you want to achieve MDRT, why do you want to achieve MDRT? Why do you deserve that? Why is your client deserve you as a financial consultant? Why is your family deserve you to be successful? Why is your partner deserve your success? Why you yourself deserve it? Honestly, this is what I learned throughout the journey, to really give my goals a lot of why. Why should I do that? To just persuade myself whenever I have the slightest thought of giving up, just to tell myself, hey, you fucking don't give up. Remember why you want to do that. Like why you want to do that, not just me, myself, because I can say 90% of us, right? We are fighting for other people. We are here or still surviving because of people around us. Not exactly us, but people around us, people that we love, that we care for. Yeah, so just keep reminding ourselves why. Yeah.
That's beautiful. If I can sum up whatever that Candy has shared throughout the whole podcast, here's how it sounds like. Overall, right, previously, when growing up, she was going through a lot of adversities. She just numbed her emotions. And I can remember that one of the biggest takeaways she learned was emotional mastery.
Yeah.
Until today, she's practicing it. That's beautiful. And she's sharing with her clients as well. And because since young, nobody taught her emotional mastery, so she numbed a lot of emotions inside her. A lot of anger, frustration was contained in her. But since young, right, she had a lot of self-doubt, a lot of I'm not good enough. Insecurities, unworthiness.
Yeah.
As a result of that, she wanted to perform in this industry, crush it, MDRT, gunning for COT, IDA, a lot of things like that. Finally want to prove to people that like, cool, respect me now, love me now. But after achieving her first MDRT in 6 months, she felt, lost
Yeah.
like purposeless.
Yeah.
And that's where the process that we experienced that she experienced with our help, right, was PPF, like past, present, future framework. Every emotions in her body just pour everything out.
Yeah.
And then she was unlocked. Like really, she broke her limits. She started thinking of possibilities that she never think of last time.
Yes.
In the past, she was just numbing it through.
Yep.
And now she's thinking about not just me, but about family,
Yep.
community, and now she want to do and help with female empowerment, humanity,
Yep.
which I think is really, really empowering, very beautiful, inspiring as well. So if those of you watching this recording or like this podcast right now, right, and you're confused, lost, self-doubt, a lot of inner work that you need to do, I encourage you to be inspired by Candy, really. Do the inner work, reflect, feel a lot of emotions that's within yourself. It might hurt you, it might pain, but I guarantee you it is a must for you to go through this process.
Yep.
And so we come to the end of this podcast. For those of you who like Candy and her story, where can they find you at, Candy?
My Instagram,
Yeah, can you say it out?
Candyman_Yap. CANDYMAN_YAP.
Beautiful. You guys have it. Okay, those of you who like this podcast, please, those of you who like this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. And I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.